Greetings, hello, welcome on in, guys. Unoptimized fool from the closet. Glad you could be here. Listen, I want to talk about LFR, okay? Now, what's LFR? Looking for raid, obviously, right? Now, I'm a little sick, by the way, so forgive me if I cough, okay? I'm currently fighting some sort of unique illness that I'm patient zero for, so good luck with that, world. No, it's probably just the cold or maybe COVID, who knows? That's why I don't go outside of my closet. I get a bunch of diseases. So, there's been talk about the LFR system again. I've had my fair share of talks about the LFR system. But there was an Icy Veins article talking about how people are getting frustrated, and I'm one of those people that are getting frustrated and having to grind for these LFR, tier sets. Because again, we're not grinding them out because we want, the item level, right? We obviously get better item level from normal, heroic, right? The natural progression system, but we want the cosmetics, even though it just completes the set, right? So out of all the sets, my looking for raid is probably like one out of whatever number it is, right? So only one piece. So a lot of people are, upset because obviously you're going to go in there and you have to fight for, basically RNG roles, right? And of course, you get the conversation talking about different things. And I want to talk about how I think in LFR, we should go back to personal loot. Now, right now, in normal, heroic, and mythic raids, you have, and also LFRs, you have loot that you roll off with everyone. Obviously, if you can roll on it, if you can need it, aka it's for your spec or has your primary stat, you can roll on it, right? Now, that works perfectly fine for normal, heroic, and mythic, because most of the time you're going to be running with a guild or a big group of people, which is mostly a guild, right? Because obviously in the first week everyone's going to be rolling for that item if it drops. Now slowly over time people are going to be getting that item, right? The amount of people rolling for that item is going to decrease if you're in the same guild, and obviously there might be a couple of people joining the guild here and there, but your shot of getting it increases over time because again more people are getting it. Now if you take that same premise and go to LFR, that's not the case. Every time you queue up for LFR, you're in a random group with random people, and basically everyone wants that item either for transmog or, you're basically fighting for your life. It's basically week one of looting the bosses in your guild runs every single week in LFR, right? So I say, let's bring back personal loot, right? Let's bring it back just for LFR. Everything else keeps the same. So I think that old system has some nostalgia to it, right? It reminds me of the old system. And also, you're in a guild. Eventually, you see, as a guildmate, you should be happy when other people win stuff over you because, yeah, it sucks that you didn't get the gear, okay, guys? But your guild is leveling up their item level, which means your chance of killing the next boss is increased slightly at a percentage. So, again, it benefits you no matter what. But in LFR, if you lose that piece, you're never going to see that person again, probably. I mean, we're so, cross-server, cross-faction nowadays, there's a high chance you might never see that person again. Or you even won't even care what their name is to even know that you met them before. So I think bringing back personal loot for that, just for LFR, again, remember, personal loot is basically you just loot the boss, and if you were picked by the RNG gods, a piece of loot for your spec would drop, and you didn't have to roll for it, right? Now, that was prevalent up until Dragonflight, where they changed it back to, I believe it's called Legacy Loot or something like that. Basically, you have to roll for it. And I honestly agree that's the better system. The system we have now in all of our in our raids and dungeons. But personal loot for LFR I think would be a good hit. Now also in this article they talked about how if you say for example completed all this content on heroic difficulty, both the LFR and the normal variety, the tier set, the appearances were automatically given to you. Now originally I said no because it would, one, obviously give you stuff you didn't earn, and two, because there would be then less people in LFR. Now why do I say that? Because some people are just in LFR. If you've done LFR, you've had some big pumpers in there, like 532s, right? Not 532s, 632s, GBD crickets, in that group. And you're like, why are they in there? They're in there for the transmog, obviously. So obviously they're pumping away, right? But then they wouldn't be there if they got that transmog. However, I was having a great conversation with my friend Smog, who is an enjoyer of this channel. Hello, Smog. And he said, why not give it back to us? And I honestly have rethought this from my initial comment on X, and I honestly think, might as well just give it to us, because again, if we're going to have to mindlessly grind out LFR and fight all of these loot goblins, because again, when people see the need button, they hit it. And Smog, you're one of them, right? But let's not put anyone on blast here. But again, I think we need something to change in LFR with the looting system, either personal loot, or if I complete on normal, I get the LFR tier. I was originally against it, but talking with Smog, he made some great points, and I think that type of system is going to be good. But again, I want to hear what you have to say. Obviously, I'm in the closet, not sure how many times I get out per day, but that's okay. I want to hear your opinion. Do you think we should get not legacy loot, personal loot back into LFR, or should we just not touch the system? So again, Unoptimized Fool from the closet. Glad you could be here. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.